right. Welcome back to the Know Your Numbers REI podcast. This is your host, Chris McCormack. And today we'll be discussing, once again, the need for proactive tax planning and really the difference between tax planning and some of these other service offerings that you might see in the marketplace. If you are just joining us for the first time, this is a podcast directly focused on you, the real estate investor. We found that many real estate investors are very frustrated with the lack of proactive tax planning they've received. It's resulted in overpayments to the US government, lack of margin in your finances, which impacts your energy and your time negatively. So we are committed to bringing you the insights you need to make confident decisions around your taxes. And we do that by educating you, by making you aware of what you should be looking for when it comes to your real estate tax accountant, and also just up-to-date things that you must know regarding the tax environment, because it is a place that is constantly changing, especially nowadays as we look to benefit our economy in a way that it hasn't been benefited before because of the crisis that might be coming, if you are aware of the national debt and everything to be said there. So we are focused on educating you, bringing you the information. Our only ask is that if you get any sort of value out of this, go ahead and share it with a friend, somebody who you might know that could use this information and these insights to grow their portfolio, to grow their financial situation, and ultimately grow their financial health altogether. But today, again, we'll be talking about tax planning versus really tax projections. If you are familiar with the show, you know that we are very adamant about finding the right real estate tax accountant when it comes to achieving your dreams in real estate, growing your portfolio. Maybe you have just started in the real estate space. Maybe you're an established investor. Maybe you're scaling from the traditional residential properties to the more cash flowing commercial properties. And all of that requires the right team to be put in place. And the biggest piece of that team, if you ask me, would be your tax accountant outside of you yourself. So today, again, we're going to be diving into tax planning, the importance of tax planning, and really the difference between tax planning and tax projections. Many accounting firms, many financial firms offer this idea of tax planning, but it's come to my attention that what they're really offering is not tax planning, but rather a tax projection. And what tax projections are is really a plan to pay taxes, right? Tax planning is a plan to mitigate or decrease taxes. Tax projections is a plan to pay taxes. You might meet with your accountant, your CPA, maybe even your financial advisor, and they'll look at your performance over the past year and say, hey, you can expect to pay $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 in taxes, and that will be due April 15th. And they might meet ahead of the deadline. They might even meet before the end of the year, but they won't meet with you to actively plan around what you can do to mitigate taxes. So this is a problem because in order to save more money, in order to grow your portfolio, you really need to be taking a proactive approach to your tax situation. And this requires proactive tax planning. The reason I'm talking about this, we recently came off of a conference down in San Diego. We are certified tax coaches and I'm a certified tax planner now. And those are credentials that you receive by attending the American Institute of Certified Tax Coaches, which is an organization focused on this kind of service, the proactive tax plan, and the use of some of the forgotten tax strategies or unknown tax strategies to really plan ahead and mitigate taxes. And not every CPA has it, not every enrolled agent has it, and certainly not every TurboTax or H&R Block advisor has it. And it's a very small portion of that population that does have it. So these are some of the things. I'm not saying that this is the only place where you can get it, but it is really the only place that I've found that educates certified tax coaches in this manner and gives them the strategies that we can use to bring to you, the real estate investor, the business owner, to proactively plan rather than prepare or plan to pay taxes. So the difference between a tax planner and somebody who might be a traditional tax preparer, or even somebody who's giving you a tax projection, is mainly the fact that, again, tax planners plan to pay less in tax, while your traditional tax preparer or your professional that is giving you a tax projection is really giving you a plan for what you will pay in taxes. And that's why I say somebody who's giving you a projection is really planning for you to pay taxes. It's almost as if you look to the health and wellness industry, right? Maybe you've had experience with a trainer, a physical trainer, and they've given you a plan to decrease your weight or build muscle or increase your fitness. That would be similar to the tax plan, right? They're getting a gauge for where you're at right now, where you want to go, and they're telling you this is what you should do. These are the things that you should eliminate from your diet. These are the things that you should put into your diet. These are the things you should do on a workout routine. And this, if you stick to it, will end in a result of a certain weight or a certain muscle mass. And that's similar to what we do on the tax planning side, right? We look at your specific circumstances. We have a discussion with where you've been as far as some of the challenges you've had from a tax standpoint and where you want to go as far as taxes and real estate portfolio deals with. And we can create this plan that will help you get there, but it will also help you get there by paying the least amount of taxes as possible. Now, the person who gives you a tax projection or maybe even prepares your taxes, this would be like going to the physical trainer and they see where you're at and they would be like, okay, you're 20, 30 pounds overweight. You can expect to have diabetes down the line, or you can expect to be going to the doctor's office every week to get new medication, but there's really nothing we can do about it. That's just where you'll be. And that's about it, right? It's not really a plan to eliminate the problem. It's just like, here is your problem and here's where your problem's getting you, and we'll collect the fee for this service, right? It would be mind-boggling to pay somebody to give you just a summary of where you're at and the consequences of that summary, rather than finding somebody who, yes, can give you a summary of where you're at, but they can also say, hey, this is what we can do to get you where you want to go. It would also be like a financial advisor, right? If you go to a financial advisor or a financial planner, you're expecting them to kind of help you put enough money aside, invest in the right accounts so that you can have enough money for retirement, right? Nobody goes to a financial advisor and is told, hey, you have $5,000 in your bank account that can get you a certain amount of money and you'll probably be cut pretty short in retirement, right? You're expecting them to create a plan that will benefit you not only now, but also in the future. And that's, again, what tax planning does, is we take your whole situation, we look at it and we say, where do you want to be 12 months from now? Where do you want to be 24 months from now? Where do you want to be 5 years from now? And create a plan and then build upon that plan to help you get there as things change, right? A tax preparer or even somebody who's giving you a tax projection might tell you what's happened in the past 12 months. They might even tell you what's going to happen in the next 3 months, but it's rare for somebody that doesn't have a tax planning background to say, hey, this is what you can do in the next year. This is what you can do in the next 2 years to pay less in tax, to grow more money in your account, and to build a portfolio of your dreams. So the first big difference between tax planning and tax projecting is that tax planners actively help you plan to pay less in tax, whereas tax projectors and your traditional tax preparers create a plan for you to pay taxes. And again, it'd be like going to the physical trainer and expecting them or asking them to just tell you where you're at and then tell you where that's going to get you. There is no proactive approach or proactive plan to help you get you where you want to go when it comes to tax projections. So you might be asking yourself, okay, where do I find these tax planners? I get the importance of a tax planner. Maybe you've experienced a tax projector or a tax preparer and you know it's not what you need, but you've struggled to find a tax planner. The first place I would recommend you check out, again, would be the American Institute of Certified Tax Planners. This is a very specific group of CPAs, enrolled agents, tax advisors who have received a certain amount of education and have a certain amount of expertise to their name that they've been designated as a certified tax coach or a certified tax planner. And these people are, again, trained in the ability to take what you currently have and where you want to go. They can identify any mistakes or missed opportunities and put you on the path to achieve your dreams, right? These are people who have qualifications and have met a certain amount of educational requirements. And the American Institute of Certified Tax Coaches is the organization that has them. They specialize in specific industries. So we here at Better Books are real estate focused, but we also have teams in Northern and Southern California that can help us with the exit planning of businesses. What are you going to do when it comes to the sale of your business? Do you have a plan? Okay, yes, you're going to come and receive a big chunk of change, maybe tens of 20s of 30s of millions of dollars, maybe even $100 million. But do you have a plan for how you can keep the most of that in your account, right? Because yeah, it sounds like a lot of money, but you would be shocked at how much of that will be taken from the government if you don't have a plan to do that. And that's what these certified tax planners do, is we take your situation. We know that you want to sell the business in 3 to 5 years, and we know that you can get a good amount of money for that. So what is the best thing to do to mitigate the taxes that will come as a result of a sale? Because chances are when you're selling, there's a gain on that sale, and that's going to be taxed at a level that you have not ever experienced. You're getting started in real estate, we can create a tax plan. You're established in real estate, we can create a tax plan. You're a business owner, we can create a tax plan. Maybe you're wanting to get in real estate. There's a tax plan for that, but it requires the right person to be working with you, right? It's like trying to find a doctor, right? I don't want to go to my doctor and have them to say, hey, you're on the right path. We'll connect again 2 years from now and see if anything changed, right? I want actionable steps to be able to make sure that I'm doing everything in my power to eliminate the risk of those consequences that we see throughout our society, right? And it's just the same in your financial health and in the health around your tax profile. This is a long-winded way of saying, find yourself a tax planner, right? And don't go based off of what somebody's offering as their service. I can say I'm offering tax planning, but really what we have seen, and in these conversations I've had with some of these other professionals, we realize that there is a gap between what people say they offer and what they're really offering. You are not going to get qualified tax planning from your financial professional. They can do a portion of it, and we refer and work together with financial planners quite a bit, but they are not certified in the tax world. They're certainly not going to prepare your taxes. Maybe they will, but they don't have the knowledge required to actually take an all-encompassing look at your profile and consider how taxes are. They can definitely point you in the right direction when it comes to investment accounts, and that's great, but your tax profile is much more than investment accounts. Your tax planning is not going to come from TurboTax or H&R Block. Your tax planning is not going to come from somebody who just does tax projections in October, November, or December. Your tax planning is going to come from somebody who has a developed system. They have the right qualifications, and they can assess where you're at right now and where you want to go to help create a plan that will help get you there by paying the least amount of taxes possible. So that's about it. I strongly encourage you, as you consider taxes this year, this is the time of year that most people are thinking about taxes because they're worried about that tax bill that's coming. Find a tax planner. Make this the year that you take that next step and start meeting with your advisor more regularly. You have accountability in your tax life. It will change your life. It will change your future. It will improve your finances. It will grow your real estate portfolio, and it will cause you to pay less in taxes as a result. And if you're looking for the right people, I'd be happy to see if we have a good fit for you. And at the very least, we can refer you to some of the other people in our network, depending on your needs and what you're looking for. Again, if you got any sort of value out of this, go ahead and share it with a friend. Leave us a rating and review, preferably one of 5 stars. That helps us get in the ears and in front of the eyes of people just like you. And if you are listening on Spotify or Apple, go ahead and check us out on YouTube. We're putting this content out in video format and would love for you to see us there as well. Until next time, God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon.